Hello, it's Dr. Karen Becker, and today we're going to talk about the 4 factors that influence the health of the frame. The frame is the musculoskeletal system of your pets. The first factor that absolutely influences the overall health of your pet's frame is, of course, their body weight. And the truth is, obesity is an epidemic for dogs and cats. It's important to know that we're seeing the same degenerative changes with overweight pets as we are with people. So what that means is that tendons and ligaments are burdened, the frame becomes burdened, actually internal organs can become stressed because of weight issues. There's a lot of problems with overweight pets. People's biggest question to me is, well, how do pets acquire obesity? And really there's a multitude of different factors, but the majority of pet foods on the market contain a lot of empty calorie fillers, high carbohydrate fillers like corn, wheat, rice, and soy. These empty calorie carbohydrates provide a lot of calories and energy, and for pets that aren't moving, it really provides an excessive source of calories to the point that pets can gain quite a bit of weight from them. The second reason we see a weight problem for pets in the United States are medications. There are certain medications like prednisone, which is a steroid that can cause weight gain. Prednisone is not an anabolic steroid, it's a catabolic steroid. And lots of animals in veterinary medicine, especially small animal medicine, dogs and cats, are put on steroids for a whole host of different reasons, from an itchy pet to an inflamed pet to a gastrointestinal pet. All of these animals oftentimes are put on steroids because it suppresses the symptoms. But the side effect of excessive steroid use is weight gain. Treats are a big problem when it comes to why pets begin racking up the calories. We all love to give our pets treats, but it's really important to remember 2 things. It's important that you do biologically appropriate treats, which means for dogs and cats being carnivores that you give meat-based treats. Meat, being protein, is a great way to supply the reward, but not in a high-calorie or high-fat form, which is excellent. The other thing you have to recognize with treats is that you need to make them really size appropriate. Portion control is a really big thing, and we recommend here at Mercola Healthy Pets that you use the size of a pea as your portion guide for treats. Even if you have St. Bernards, I recommend that you consider using pea-sized treats, because what we're communicating is a job well done. That's what we want. We're not trying to fill our pets up with treats, we're trying to communicate job well done. So portion control is very, very important, and lack of portion control absolutely can lead to weight gain. The other major issue with why animals are gaining weight is a lack of exercise. We're tired when we come home from work, we're exhausted, we tend to not move our bodies enough, and in turn our pets tend to spend a lot of time inside. A lot of my clients assume that playing is exercise, and the truth is, although playing is wonderful, playing really is considered anaerobic activity, which means running around the house or running around outside for a few minutes. The heart rate elevates and then drops back down, so it's not consistent, good, aerobic, heart-thumping, muscle-toning, fat-burning exercise where the heart rate's elevated for 20 minutes at a time. That oftentimes isn't accomplished through play. The second factor that really influences the overall health of your pet's frame is, of course, exercise. Your pet was designed to move, whether it's a Bichon or a Toy Poodle or a Burmese cat or a Rottweiler. All dogs and cats are wired as athletes. They want to move their bodies. And if we don't give them ample opportunity to move their bodies, they can end up with not only bone and joint problems, but actually behavior problems. Excellent research shows that dogs and cats that don't move their bodies consistently have significantly more behavior problems than dogs and cats that are given ample exercise. So if there ever was a reason for you to bundle up and walk your dog, it's because you're providing not only physical improvement, but mental well-being as well. Indoor house cats really are sometimes the hardest to exercise. You may have to be really creative and drag strings up and down the stairs or walk around with feathers, but there are good ways that you can come up with in terms of being creative to help your dog and cat move on a really regular basis. What we know to be true as well is that dogs and cats' exercise requirements do not diminish with age, that even geriatric pets need to move consistently. Sometimes the type of exercise, the intensity, and the duration change, but the requirement for exercise doesn't change as your pet ages. It's really important to recognize that consistency is important when it comes to exercise. Just doing the weekend warrior thing with your dog or cat actually can be the recipe for potential injury. What we mean is if you have an indoor frisky 4-year-old Labrador that doesn't do a whole lot of exercise during the week and on the weekend goes outside and does a whole lot of jumping and twisting and frisbee playing, that's That's the potential for a torn ACL or a blown disc or other soft tissue injury because your pet's not in condition or not toned and really well designed to be able to handle strenuous exercise if in fact you're not creating daily aerobic health during the week. So it's also important to recognize that good variety in how you exercise your pet is part of making sure that the whole body is toned and not just certain muscles that are doing repeated actions, let's say on the weekends. The third major contributor to potential musculoskeletal degeneration is joint degeneration, specifically arthritis. There's lots of different types of arthritis, but osteoarthritis or degenerative joint disease is one of the big contributing factors to why the frame can degenerate. There's lots of reasons for why animals develop arthritis. Cartilage degeneration is one of them. There can be a genetic predisposition to a malformation of the joints, let's say hip dysplasia, that can cause early doghood joint degeneration. Oftentimes, unknown trauma or even well-known trauma causes premature joint degeneration. For instance, if your young dog was hit by a car, and if some of those musculoskeletal issues were not corrected, that can lead to premature joint aging. Nutritional status, and in fact poor nutrition, can lead to premature joint degeneration, as well as autoimmune disease. There are some diseases where the body can actually attack its own joints, and some infectious diseases like Lyme's disease that can also cause joint degeneration. The fourth reason that the physical body can degenerate is trauma. And believe it or not, trauma is the most overlooked and common source of joint problems for dogs and cats. Trauma can be as basic as you stake your dog out on a leash, it sees a rabbit, it chases after the rabbit and forgets it's on a leash, and you can see cervical injury with a whole multitude of different reasons. Young dogs and cats oftentimes flop off of couches, they fall down stairs, dogs jump out of the back of a pickup. Oftentimes in puppy classes, a lot of trainers will recommend that you jerk at the neck, which of course we don't recommend because there's a lot of cervical trauma that can happen to young developing bodies when there are collars that are applied in an inappropriate fashion. So all of these minor traumas can add up to major joint degeneration over a period of time. What's really important to recognize is that normal wear and tear can lead to degeneration if it's not addressed. So minor subluxation of the vertebral bodies in the neck, which means, let's say a kitty was stuck in the birth canal at birth and the owner just gently manipulated the head to assist in the delivery of that kitten. If that kitty's first cervical vertebra, the atlas, gets locked to the left or the right, the kitty grows up with its head literally not being on straight, which can lead to the rest of the body compensating in early joint degeneration. If those issues are identified and addressed early on, the cat can go on to live quite a normal and healthy, happy life. But if they're not addressed, then premature degeneration certainly can occur. And these early dog and cathood traumas is one of the main reasons we can see degeneration. So how do you prevent degeneration for dogs and cats? Number one, if your pet receives injury of any type, consider chiropractic care. Dog and cat chiropractic is an excellent, really affordable way to line the central nervous system and the bony vertebral bodies back up into proper alignment. This prevents secondary compensation, which is terrific. Massage is another great way that you can prevent soft tissue inflammation and compensation in the body. There are great books and videos out on how to perform pet massage, and you being in touch with the anatomy of your pet's body is a great way not only to bond with your dog or cat, but to get a really good feel as to where there could be tightness or inflammation or soreness. Stretching your dog and cat is a wonderful way to help reduce degeneration and prevent soft tissue injury, as well as providing the raw materials for cartilage repair and maintenance, which comes in the form of certain supplementations. So in summary, your pet's weight, the exercise, the potential trauma that the animal's received, and degeneration all come together to influence your pet's musculoskeletal health. I hope that I've given you a little bit of insight on not only ways to identify premature degeneration, but some great tips on how you can prevent overall musculoskeletal degeneration and improve your pet's quality of life by taking some of these things into consideration.